Now that we're experts on the dashboard, it's time to create a post. This is something that is actually going to show up on the website. There's going to be you in the real world, and everybody can see it. Now, the reality is, sad as unfortunate as it might be, is the odds of anybody looking at it are extremely low. And in fact, the hardest part about building a website in some ways is getting people to care about it enough to actually go to it. Now, as a teacher, I just make my kids go to it because that's where I keep all my assignments. So I can force it, and then it becomes popular, at least in their world. But I don't want you to worry about, oh my gosh, if I put something up on the web, everybody's going to see it and know everything about me. The odds are nobody's really going to go to it. They just won't know it's there. Some robots will go to it and index it for Google and other search engines, but that's probably just about it. So don't worry too much about the privacy aspect. All right, over here, I'm going to click on Site, and I'm going to click on Posts. Now, we're going to start with Posts. It's different than Pages, although they actually look exactly the same. But how they work and how you use them is totally different, and we'll review that more later on. So for now, I'm going to hit Post. There we go. And here's some sample posts and all that. You can probably ignore that, and I'm going to hit Add New Post right here. And this will pop up. There it is, a new post. It has some things you can go through it, talk about how to edit and add content and all that. You can look at that if you want, or you can just follow along with me. First thing I do is add a title. I'm going to call this My First Post. You can call it whatever you want. And then it's organized in blocks. So you can put blocks of content above and below each other. And this is a little further in the future, but depending on the theme, you might have columns of blocks. But for now, there aren't columns. It's just one solid block, and then beneath it is another block. And I'm going to click on this button here. And we have lots of different types of things in here that you can use, and probably none of these will you ever really use. So I wouldn't worry about them too much for now as far as business hours and contact forms and things like that. You might use it later when you're getting into more advanced stuff, but for now we're just going to keep it really simple, and we can talk more about advanced stuff at another time. So I'll type some stuff here. This is my first post. It is really exciting. So you can see there's no images or anything like that in there right now. We'll talk about that later. It's up to you if you want to go ahead and do that. You can do things with that post. So you can change the alignment here if you want it left or right center, just kind of like you would with a word processor. I bolded it, italics it. These are links, which we'll talk about in a future assignment. And you can see I could do strike through, for example, something like that. It'd be up to me. And up to you. So I'm going to undo strike through there. I think I have to select it first, so it doesn't look too bad. And I'm going to undo the italics, and that's it. Now I'm going to go ahead and publish that. Now you can preview things at first if you want, just to see how it's going to look. And in the beginning, you're not really maybe confident on your work, and so you'll probably preview a lot to check it out before you actually add something. But for me right now, I'm just going to go for it in a moment after I do the preview. I'm going to go ahead and publish. And you have the ability here to look at it as a tablet, phone, and all those kinds of things. So I'm going to go ahead and hit publish. And here's different things about visibility. It can be public or private. Generally, you're going to want to make things public. Right away. When you want to publish it, you can actually do the timing on it, which is cool for assignments. If you're giving a test or something, you can have it go at a certain date. And there's tags and all that, which we will talk about later. So let's not worry about that now. So my goal here is to keep it simple. You just do really basic things in the beginning, and then you build on those skills rather than trying to talk about all of them right out the gate. Okay, you can see it's publishing there, and I can view the post, and there it is. Isn't that cool or what?